Hello dear viewer, welcome to the episode. Today I'm going to walk you through my process of shooting, selecting and editing pictures from two stage performances that happened during the celebration of the 4th of July here in Sofia, Bulgaria. First, let me congratulate all the American viewers, happy 250th anniversary. Now, I was a regular guest at this event, I bought ticket with my own money, but I decided to have more fun and go there and shoot like I was hired to do that job. But to make it more interesting, I decided to restrict myself with the gear. I took my Leica CL and my Leica SL with manual 35-70 Vario lens. And I knew that this lens is going to be short, the Vario, and the Voigtlander is going to be too wide to shoot stage performance, but that was the catch and this was going to make it more interesting and fun for me. I was using Coded Gold 200 and then I took Ilford Delta 3200 ISO, but the film was thin and there was a kind of yellowish veil over it after the development. Anyway, frames from the film, from the Ilford Delta are kind of more funky, but that's the risk of doing it live. So today I wanted to talk about two things. First is the confidence to walk around, because there was two official photographers of the event, I think, and one guy that was walking around, taking a lot of pictures, chasing a lot of moments like me. So there was no trouble to walk around with your camera and shoot around whatever you like. What I wanted to do is shoot heavily the stage and catch some moments and expressions and the artists, and of course to have some of the environment. Now, having in mind that this was not a real concert, the task was heavily shoot the stage and have some of the environment, some people here and there, if something interesting happens. But I was not covering the whole event because there was some things going on before the stage performances. So I was walking with a big camera, of course, and nobody knows who you are, if you're hired by the venue, if you're hired by the organizers, if some of the band hired you. Nobody's asking anything, but at some point, looking at my actions and how much I walk around the stage and how I sit at one position and wait for a moment to happen, the artist started to accept me probably as a professional covering the event or the stage performances. There was a great moment which unfortunately I blew. I was unable to be that quick with the manual focus, and I have a kind of good shot from that moment, but if I was with my regular autofocus lenses, it was going to be probably a good shot. But anyway, what I mean is that when you are at such an event and you sit and wait, you're serious about what you want to do. I wanted to have good shots. People start to accept you as a professional, even you might not be one. And from time to time they're going to make something funny in front of your camera just to make something, because these are performers. They want to look good, they want to have good pictures and to look good on video. So building a trust in an artist, because they're always looking at the public and what's going on around them. And at one point, when they see you all the time there, regularly making a shot from here, making a shot from there, there is more likely for them to act more natural and to try to give you something interesting that happens in front of the camera. I'm not saying that they are going to pose for you or something like that, but what I mean is that having a professional approach at something gives you more opportunity to do meaningful shots. Now I would like to show you some of my selection process. Let's first start with the Ilford Delta 3200 ISO. So these are the JPEGs from the beginning of the film, and I very much like the first shot, so I decided to use it as a cover, although it's cut in half. And then, to be honest, looking at the whole film, I don't find anything very interesting, except for maybe this shot I don't like very much the expression. Probably this one is a little better because of the angle, the diagonal, and there's a good separation between the light figure and the darker background. Probably this one, but as you can tell, because of the rangefinder, I messed up the focus, and the focus is on the building and not on the singer, so this is no go. And yeah, in general, I don't have something very interesting on the film, unfortunately. Probably this one, or maybe this one after some heavy cutting. Again, back focus, I don't know. I probably had too much beer. This one is an interesting shot, but it's in this veiled part of the film, so in general the film is unfortunately a no-go. The other film, I had some pictures of the cars before that, before the show, and here the pictures from the performance. Probably in this shot there is something good, and again cars. This one again I was for some reason back focusing. This one is not bad. This one, nothing interesting happening, but the shot that I like the most from this film is this one. The guy was playing around with the balloons, and when you see it in the first time, when you first see it, you're not sure exactly what's happening until you see the microphone between the balloons. And I would like to pair this shot with this one, which I made intentionally, and you see only the legs of the people and you can't see faces. Of course, these types here, these letters are ruining the shot, but putting this one, it's going to be a nice composition. But unfortunately, my film efforts are not that fruitful as the digital, of course. And here all my digital files that I've selected. All of the pictures that I took digitally are about 600 pictures. So from 600 I selected about 120. My process of selecting the pictures is first to have some emotion, something to happen, to have some expression, some movement. Obviously the singer here is letting the public singing with him, a nice smile or a gesture while singing. This is something meaningful. When you look at the picture, you're getting what's happening. This shot, when he's looking at the camera, smiling, and here the artist is showing his tongue at the public or somebody, I don't know. And in general, I'm looking to have a good diagonals in the frame. And here the hangers for the lighting, the stage is leading to the face of the artist and the pole of the microphone as well, and all of the leading lines are going to the face of the singer, and he's looking happy and singing, or that kind of gestures, which again, I have the diagonals, the face is kind of in a good place. Some of these shots I've cropped. Later I'll show you the TNG files. I like that kind of shots which show power, happiness, the pointing finger, and with very mixed feelings about steam, smoke machines. From time to time it's very hard to shoot in this kind of conditions when you have a smoke machine, but gestures like that with strong expression. Here the smoke is doing a good job because it's making that light very graphic, the rays from it. Frames like that close expression. You feel the musician and his feelings in the song. I like that kind of shot, kind of obscure at the beginning, you're not sure what's happening. Now let's take a look at the DNG files. For example, I very much like that frame. I love the whole emotion, the posture and everything. When you see the picture, there is a mask, and I have a couple of gradients to lower the levels of this chain and the background, because in my pictures I want to have the face or the figure, the main subject, to be the brightest point in the shot, because usually our human eyes are directly looking at the lightest points of the shot and then look for something in the shadows and there. So if we remove that, you can see the original shot. I like that the lightest part, his face, is on the darker background, but anyway, these parts of the image are too bright for me, so I like to have them a little bit dimmed, and when you look finally at the image, the face of the musician and his whole figure are the brightest point. Something that I did here is the same thing. You can see the mask. These areas are actually made darker, and you can see it's not a lot, but because he was in a kind of a darker spot, he's deeper in the stage, and although the sun is right in his face, the drums and the leaves of the trees are just a small idea lighter than I would like them to be. And that's how I make my compositions. I use the light and the lines. On this one I crop the drummer, you can see, and that's the crop. This shot, this is again what I was talking about, your attitude about the whole thing. When you look professional, people are trusting you and start working for the camera. Here you can see a situation that is unfolding. I'm following the guy and the girl is running from here. You can see she's getting closer and closer, and the last shot is this one. She's making the heavy metal, and her expression and his motion, everything, the look of that girl, everything kind of fell in place, and I was just following the singer, and the next shot is nothing like that at all. So yeah, a lot of shooting and waiting for a moment, setting up. You never know what's going to happen the next second, so be there, look professional, shoot a lot, and if you're lucky, you'll have what you need. That's all that I wanted to share with you today. Thanks for watching, like, comment, subscribe, and see you in the next episode.